You are now listening to The Survivors Series with Kyle Fields, a One Love Media production.
March 11th, 2011. A day that changed Japan forever. It started with a 9.1 magnitude earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded. The violent shaking triggered a tsunami with waves over 130 feet tall, swallowing entire towns along Japan's coastline. And then, in what felt like an unthinkable chain of events, the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant suffered catastrophic failures, releasing dangerous levels of radiation into the air, land, and sea. Thousands lost their lives that day. But for those who survived, the nightmare was far from over. Families were torn apart, homes were destroyed, and entire communities were forced to flee that would never return. Today, we're telling the stories of those who made it through that horrific day and the days that followed, against all odds. This is the Survivor Series, and I'm your host, Kyle Fields. Section 1. The Earthquake. At 2:46 p.m. local time, the ground beneath Japan convulsed, with a force few had ever experienced. The quake lasted a full 6 minutes, sending skyscrapers swaying like trees in the wind. Roads split open, buildings crumbled, and a deafening roar filled the air as the earth unleashed her fury. For those in the affected areas, survival came down to seconds and sheer luck. Many who had experienced earthquakes before knew the drill: drop, cover, and hold on. But this was no ordinary quake. It was a seismic monster, the kind that tests the limits of not just structural, but human resilience. After the earthquake, reporters spoke to Akira Sato, a Fukushima native who was at work when the quake hit. He described the terror of watching his office building sway violently, unsure if it would hold or collapse around him. I thought, this is it. This is how I die. Section 2. The tsunami. Just when the shaking stopped, a new horror began. Less than an hour after the earthquake, an unstoppable wall of water came crashing towards the coastline. Some communities had mere minutes to react, and many had no warning at all. Mika Takahashi, a mother of two, was at home when the emergency sirens blared. "I grabbed my children and ran," she said. "We got to higher ground just in time, but we watched our house disappear beneath the waves. Everything, our home, our memories, was gone in 6 seconds. Over 15,000 lives were lost to the tsunami alone, but many who survived were left stranded without food, water, or power for days. Section 3. The Nuclear Meltdown. Then came the third disaster. The tsunami knocked out power to the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, disabling its cooling systems. Within hours, reactor cores began overheating. Explosions rocked the facility, sending radioactive material into the atmosphere. Evacuation orders came swiftly, but chaos and confusion reigned. Many people had no idea how serious the situation was until it was too late. Some had to choose between staying in an area drenched in radiation or fleeing without knowing where to go. Naoki Tanaka, a plant worker, risked his life to stay behind and help cool the reactors. "We didn't think about ourselves," he said. "We just thought about preventing the worst-case scenario." His bravery, and that of his colleagues, prevented an even greater catastrophe. But the price was high. Section 4. The Aftermath. In the days and weeks following the disaster, more than 150,000 people were displaced. Many never returned to homes as radiation levels rendered entire towns uninhabitable. The trauma of that day still lingers. Survivors battle health issues, PTSD, and the loss of everything they once knew. But through the pain, there are stories of resilience. Communities have rebuilt, families have found ways to heal, and those who survive continue to fight for justice, awareness, and safety measures to prevent future tragedies. Mika, the mother who lost her home, now works to support other survivors. "We lost so much, but we are still here," she said. "And as long as we are here, we will keep moving forward." The Fukushima disaster was a tragic reminder of nature's power and the fragility of human structures. But it was also a testament to the resilience of those who faced unimaginable and lived to tell their stories. Next week, we shift from a disaster born of nature to a survivor who defied the odds against man-made destruction. Join us as we will be telling the story of Zach Tidwell, a Marine Corps veteran who survived an attempted suicide and went on to change the world in ways no one could have imagined. His story is one of survival, redemption, and refusing to let darkness win. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, and remember, survival is just the beginning. I'm Kyle Fields, and this has been the Survivor Series.